joined by the one, the only, just David. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. It is Thanksgiving weekend, but that doesn't mean we can't have a Patreon episode. We broke down the end of Vanderpump Rules on the show this week. Excuse me while I take a sip of coffee. Ooh, that's good coffee this morning. Everyone having their coffee this morning? So listen, welcome. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you. Let's talk a little Salt Lake. We haven't really broken down Salt Lake in a while. I've been so focused on Potomac and hating New York. Lots of mixed reactions to New York this past week. A lot of people said, wow, we agree with Andy that this was such a raw, emotional, how can you say that these women don't show their lives when Aaron and Jenna are both opening up about the fact that they had an abortion? I think Aaron was 18 and Jenna was 21. Why are we ragging on Roni? This is real. They show their real lives. And a lot of you politically don't like abortions, I see, based on the comments. And lots of people are like, we hate it. Why are we talking about this? So, a mixed bag, regardless of abortion or no abortion. I don't like Rhodey. I still don't like it. It's not making a political statement. I just don't like it. I cannot get into it. I am trying. I am sorry. And I agree with whoever kept saying if this wasn't Housewives, if it wasn't called Housewives, no one would be watching it. I'm trying. I can be resurrected. Again, Salt Lake season 3, one of the worst seasons ever in Housewife history. I was never coming back to Salt Lake, and here I am. It's a good season. I don't know. This episode bored me a little bit the night before Turkey Day. I hope everyone had a great Turkey Day. I hope everyone is thankful. As Mary Cosby says at the end, every day is a gift. I agree with that. So we start with Heather, and we're going to get into some gossip. John Janssen has a lot to say. He did a very long interview, and I want to talk some Beverly Hills. So we got a lot to do, so let's go fast. Heather and Whitney decide that in some world of Camp Beverly Hills, which is, I mean, True Beverly Hills, Camp Beverly Hills. Everyone loved Camp Beverly Hills. Every time I wear a Benetton, someone says, oh my God, Benetton, one of my favorite brands from the 80s. Well, Camp Beverly Hills is Benetton is one of my favorite brands from the 80s. But Camp Beverly Hills also, for all you 20-somethings, go look up Camp Beverly Hills. They used to sell it up until very recently only at Fred Siegel in LA. I stocked up on Camp Beverly Hills, but guess what? Fred Siegel in LA, an institution, is closed. Retail is dead, guys. Don't open a bar. Learn from Schwartz. Learn from Sandy's. Don't open retail, but don't open any restaurant space. It's so hard. So in some worlds, after watching True Beverly Hills, great movie from the 80s. Shout out to Shelley Long. Shout out to Cheers. I am so sorry. All of you people in your 20s, I am making references you don't understand. I will bring it into the modern day. But Heather and Whitney in some world decide that it's great to have a campfire roundup because Mary's party where Behind the Velvet Rope was shown on Meredith's phone, and Meredith ended up leaving, and she thinks she was kicked out. And Mary thinks it's weird because that went so well, right? So somehow Heather and Whitney, the cousins, bad weather, think this is a good idea. So they're planning that, but Meredith is like, I got to get to the bottom of this with Mary. It's not like her. Let me see what's going on. She sets up this meeting at an art gallery. She is very, very happy to have a glass of champagne. I love a gray on gray ensemble. Love a grand ensemble. So that is points to Meredith for wearing that. And Miss Mary, I mean, as soon as Meredith was there and Mary is at home knocking on Robert Jr.'s door, I'm like thinking to myself, isn't she going to be fucking late if Meredith is already there? I don't even know where each person lives. But sure enough, that was a storyline. Mary is over an hour late. Meredith is very upset. And Mary showed up an hour late. Meanwhile, more on that soon. Meanwhile, Lisa and Angie decide to go see the snakes. If that isn't a metaphor, I don't know what is. She brings a stuffed snake for Lisa's child, asks him if he's too old. You are never, ever, ever too old for a stuffed animal. I love my stuffed animals. Really do. Who doesn't love a fucking stuffed animal? You have to be a monster not to love a stuffed animal. Now, if you don't love children, totally understandable. They don't fucking shut up. They're they're dirty. And there's so many reasons not to love children. As far as animals like pets, also so many reasons not to love pets. I don't want your dog to lick me. I don't want your dog to jump on me. I don't want your dog to kiss me hello. So not really a fan of children or pets. Again, I'm a cold person who's gonna die alone, but at least I'm authentic. But stuffed animals, love them. So Angie and Elisa, they have a heart to heart and they seem to kind of they say they love each other. So we're leaving this in a good place. I'm shocked. I didn't think we would get here. Also, how is Bronwyn so okay with Lisa like now in this episode? I think this is episode 11. And how do they get to like basically slamming each other on social media after this week's fan fest? Last weekend's FanFest. FanFest seems to be a hit. I don't know why they would have BravoCon. I don't know why they just wouldn't have these FanFests. We had Miami represented, Southern Charm. We had Beverly Hills and Atlanta. The things that are on now are coming soon. No Vanderpump, no Jersey. Uh, I need to do a whole talk on Vanderpump and what that means for the future of Jersey. We'll see about that. So there we go. Meredith is waiting, and Mary back to that scene, and Mary lets us know, well, the bitch rents in Park City. If she rented in Salt Lake, I wouldn't be an hour late. Meredith seems to think if you're over an hour late, there's no excuse. I happen to agree with Meredith on this one. You're 5 minutes late, you're 10 minutes late, you're 15 minutes late, even if you're 20 minutes late. I really personally don't care because I don't get upset about these things. I only get upset about health issues, but I do agree an hour late. I'm not sure. I mean, don't get upset. I just usually leave. I don't think I'd wait for an hour for anybody. I'm like, you're an hour late. Like, no, I'm not staying here. So, but that's that. Mary wants to make it very clear that Meredith is an Airbnb. She rents. I think we all know at this point that Meredith rents in Salt Lake and doesn't really live there. And she's in New York and LA, and she's not a home in Salt Lake. Apparently, that's no longer a requirement for any of these shows. Hey, Jacqueline Larita, if Teresa isn't fired, maybe we could see you on New Jersey Housewives. But I'm not